Hey, let's get to it right quick. I know he watched the fights over the weekend. And you said you had some things to really kind of get to.
We got a lot of fights to cover.
Yeah. My man couldn't keep himself away from the podcast today.
Hey, going back to a lot of game, a lot of hustle. Not really though, but there was the Beterbiev Yarde card was early on. Nothing too, I don't think, noteworthy on the undercard. There was an upset, but
the fight itself was a great fight.
Oh my God.
You good, baby?
Let's keep going.
at least put an auto tune on him.
You good? We good? We talking?
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. There it is.
No. He good.
Oh my
but
God.
people keep calling him.
I don't know, but so the fight you mentioned, fight was great. Main event was
hell
great.
of a fight.
Yeah.
Anthony Yarde, kudos, Lions in the camp. I know that's kind of been almost a joke to some people. He handled himself well in there. That was probably the best I've seen him fight.
Way better than I thought.
I was watching the fights, and the fights leading up, it was like, man,
about the past fight this weekend.
They're not really that interesting. No
Okay.
offense to anybody that fought on the ESPN Plus card, but I looked at my wife. I said, man, like it's hard to get a fight from beginning to end that's just entertaining and good to watch. She said, yeah, like you really were the only one. I'm like, oh, thank you, appreciate that.
Okay, it's a little overrated. I might say.
But the main event, round after round, where'd it go? 9, right?
8. It was the 8th.
Went 8.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 8 good rounds.
Yarde showed
Yes,
up.
indeed.
Y'all showed up.
Yeah, I wasn't actually scoring it, so I'm not sure. I know Yarde was actually winning. I think on 2 of the 3 cards.
Ooh, really?
Yeah,
you
they
had him winning?
possibly.
I had it. Oh, maybe I'm tripping. I had it like at that point I had like 2-7.
Yeah.
5.
Dang.
Yeah, I wasn't scoring. What did you think, Ginuwine?
I'm better be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think, I would say, because it was like 8, I give him 5.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought it was
4
close
5.
without even scoring it.
Yeah.
I thought it was close. Beterbiev, man, he's just got such damn heavy hands.
I know.
It's just one of those things where you're like, at some point, those things are going to catch you. And
How old is he?
38.
38. And he's still doing it like that. That was insane.
Let's get back to boxing because this right here is gonna
It's
question
all
right
good.
here is gonna lead to the next conversation we gonna have. Shawn
Oh my God! Did not do it again.
Shawn Sotus, he asked the question. He said, "What do I think Anthony Yarde could have done better?" And that's gonna lead into the Bivol conversation because I think the number one thing that Yarde could have done better was use his jab. I think we saw the movement was there, and we saw that he could have leave the shots of Beterbiev, but I think he should have done a better job at giving Beterbiev something to look at on his way in. And I think that's probably like one of my probably consistent answers in boxing is use your jab.
yours is usually the jab. Tim Bradley always says body punch.
Yeah. And I think that going to the body would have proved to be beneficial to him too in terms of throwing a straight jab to the body, straight right hands to the body. We saw that Yarde was going to that uppercut a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was necessary that Beterbiev made an adjustment. It's just that it was a couple of early uppercuts that landed, but then they were just missing the mark after that.
It was there.
It was there.
Yeah.
So what you do is you use the jab to find the face or direct your opponent to where that uppercut can be, So there was more reasons to use the jab aside from just keeping Beterbiev off of him.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he could have done better.
I just don't.
A lot of close rounds in that fight.
Yeah, it
And
was.
I didn't give the Yarde, but there were
Yeah,
a lot
it was.
of close
I
rounds.
mean, it was action from Jump Street. I don't know. I watched that fight and it was a really great performance. I think Beterbiev was great. I think he's a better boxer than people give him credit for. He's not just a knockout artist. But man, I think Bivol cooks him. I think Bivol absolutely
The whole time I'm
carves
watching.
his ass up.
Yeah, the whole
I think
time
he stops
watching.
him. That's my hot
Ooh,
take.
I don't got him
I think Bivol
stopping
stops him. Not like he knocks him out. I think the
TKO.
ref stops it, cuts or accumulation.
Bivol's a beast, man.
Beterbiev's just too there to be hit.
Yeah.
And Bivol, he lives in the mid range. He is like Kevin Durant. He's like prime Paul Pierce. That man just lives in the. He's just gonna sit there all day and light him up.
And he's in and out, moving, slick, and a great boxer. And I just think the levels of boxing will show in that
6
fight.
years younger as well.
Yeah,
Again,
I mean-
not the age is everything, but
you like Beterbiev, huh? Or Bivol,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, I like Bivol, man, but I think that's going to be a tough fight for both guys, really. I think it's going to be an entertaining fight. I don't know if they're going to stand there in the middle of the ring, though, but it's going to definitely be a give-take boxing match, man. But I do have Bivol winning, man.
Yeah. This is what I saw last night. No, the night before.
Sir, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, a couple days before now. I just saw the fight today, all right?
Gotcha.
So slow down. Just saw the fight today, so slow down. But listen, this is what I saw from Beterbiev. At 38 years old, you still got the power. You can still thump.
Yeah.
And they always say that's the last thing to go for a fighter. But the resistance. Right. I talked about it earlier with Tank and with Ryan, but I didn't see punch resistance there from Beterbiev. There was a lot of shots that landed clean from Yarde, and it seemed to bother Beterbiev. I'm not going to say Beterbiev was hurt.
Yeah.
There may have been some moments where he was stunned for a split second or two or so, but I could definitely see that there were the punches that Yarde was able to land on Beterbiev had impact, and it had an effect on him.
Yeah.
So moving forward, you got a guy like Bivol who's just as big as you, just as strong as you, can box, is younger than you, has not had you had to use the style that you use. Let's go back just a little bit. Beterbiev uses a very physical style.
Yeah.
And he doesn't use it the way that I use my physical style. My physical style had a lot of defense involved, a lot of movement involved,
Yeah.
But again, what you relying on power, not relying on boxing ability solely, it has a lot of wear and tear.
Yeah. And that's why I think I think it was G that mentioned with the Tank and Ryan fight, it's one where you can't really look away.
Yeah.
Because as good as I think Bivol is as a boxer and as better as I think he is than Beterbiev, at any moment he can knock him out. He's knocked out every guy he's fought. So, I mean,
all it takes is one.
And Bivol's been hurt before.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not crazy to think that he gets caught. But yeah, it would be a great fight. I think he's the best at 175, Bivol, and I think he beats him.